Hello everybody, welcome to Los Angeles, California and Giants Live. LA is the venue later this year for the World's Strongest Man Finals, and to get us warmed up for the Ultimate Strongman Showdown, we're taking a look at the action from the Giants Live World Tour. First stop is Melbourne, Australia. There's an international field of strength athletes awaiting, including Bob Frampton, and up for grabs the title of Southern Hemisphere's Strongest Man.
Yep, Melbourne, Australia, a city that thrives on sport. There's a variety of top events down under here each year to keep those Melbourneian bodies in top shape. Indeed, and inside the Melbourne Exhibition Centre is our destination.
Welcome down under, Giants Live 2014.
Ready, go! Here in the heart of the third annual FitX Expo, some 35,000 fitness fans have gathered to see everything from the world's largest bodybuilders to the world's smallest bikinis. We're here, though, for the strongmen, so let's meet our contenders. There's the south of England's strongest man, Rob Frampton. There's miner Jeremy Hogg, a veteran at 42 and New Zealand's #1. The Australian Eben LaRue, who competed at the World's Strongest Man Finals in 2011. There's a huge name from the world of powerlifting, the Icelander Benny Magnusson. There's a former shot putter in the South African Gerhard van Staden. We have the reigning Australia's strongest man, Warwick Brandt. And Western Australia's strongest man, 2013, Joel McLeod. Third at South Africa's strongest man in 2014, Mark van der Heer is competing, as is his countryman Frankie Skeen, who is the reigning Southern Hemisphere's strongest man. But here's the fella they'll all be looking out for, the truly colossal Icelander, Hafthor Bjornsson, a.k.a. The Mountain, from the TV series Game of Thrones. At almost 7 foot high, he's perhaps the most feared competitor in strongman.
My name is Hafthor Bjornsson. I'm from Iceland. People call me Thor. I'm 6'8", around 400 pounds. My family, they're all tall. My sisters, my father, my mother. I get it all the time when I'm traveling at the airport, at home, competitions, everywhere. People want photos and autographs, so I'm used to it. I'm a really friendly guy. If people like photo, I'm always open to that. I've been filming with Game of Thrones in season 4. I was acting a guy who called the Mountain, and he's pretty serious. Yeah, lots of death and blood. My goal now is to win the World's Strongest Man, and I want to win the title as many times as I can. But everything can change by the time. But I want to at least stay in the sport for maybe 6-8 years more. Now my focus is on strongman, and I wanna be the #1, the World's Strongest Man.
Any other interesting characters you've competed against here at the Fit Expo who could maybe push you, challenge you for the title?
Not really.
OK then, let's join Martin Haven and first up Colin Bryce to tell us what's in store for the big men.
Our first event today is the Farmer's Walk, classic event at any strongman contest. You have to lift these 150 kilogram implements up, so 300 kilos in total, run them 15 meters up, 15 meters back, and then 15 meters up again. So 45 meters in total. They have 60 seconds in which to complete it. A really good test of explosive strength to start us off.
Western Australia's strongest man, Joel McLeod, managed 43.25 metres, and Sam Pennell from New Zealand, 36.5. First man to complete the 45-metre distance, Frankie Skeen, in 26.9 seconds. Jeremy Hogg went quicker by 0.6.
Take your position over the handle, around the handles, I'll say ready, set, and on the whistle you go. Yeah, you got it?
Really pumped up Benny Magnusson. These two guys will be spurring each other on side by side with Rob Frampton. Both of them now British residents. Let's see who is going to get the fastest time. And it's important to get that briefing clear from the judges. You don't want to fall foul of any rules. Well, they're offered a good clip. Frampton struggling for balance, clanging the two RSJs together, and Benny Magnusson has the advantage at the turn.
Go!
Support for Rob Frampton. Now he's dropped it in between the lines. You're only allowed to do that once, and his grip may be going. Already Benny Magnusson is turning. He's rushing to the far end. Time to beat 26.3. He's going to be close now. 27 and change. And what about Frampton? If he makes it to the end, he'll be doing well. And I don't think he got to the line.
Frampton goes down just short of the line.
43.75, but he's dropped it twice in the run, and that'll put him out.
Well, the first thing that goes is your grip, Martin, and Frampton just couldn't hang on any longer.
Here is our next duo, Gerhard van Staden, the explosive power of the shot putter. Maybe that'll help him on this. Those legs are going to be so important, and up against Australia's Eben LaRue from New South Wales. Former World's Strongest Man finalist, trying to get the crowd pumped up and behind him. The home crowd always really works. 150 kilos in each hand, don't forget. That is a total weight of 47 stone that they are carrying down, of course. And look at LaRue go. He's just behind at the line. Quick turn from Van Staden, the South African, with a length advantage. Now, is he on target? 16 seconds to the far end. This could be really good. He's got 10 seconds to get back, but that includes the turn. He's going to be close, and he is just inside. 24.23, and a really quick run from LaRue as well. And just to show how good the grip is, he showboats a little at the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the showboating's all about. Van Staden was the man to beat there. Goodness, 24 seconds now is what these men are chasing.
35-year-old Warwick Brandt is up against it here. 25-year-old Thor Bjornsson is alongside him. The man mountain. It's not all about height, it's not about weight, it's not about power, it's not about speed, it's everything together. And at the moment, Warwick Brandt is not far behind at the turn, maybe a second and a half.
And I think Bjornsson is about a second ahead of what Van Staden was. This turn is crucial.
He's really going to have to pile on the pressure. Leading time so far, 24.23. It's going to be close, but he's not quite there in second place. It's Van Staden who wins.
So, for all his pre-tournament confidence, Bjornsson actually beaten in the opening event by a stunning display of speed from the South African Van Staden. England's Rob Frampton finishing 9th.
Thor has beaten everyone in the world at that kind of event. He's one of the absolute best at it ever. So, I mean, showing off some great athleticism. Were you a former athlete?
I trained very hard for this. I dropped a lot of weight, so I got a lot of advice from the big guys like Derek and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll see how the rest of the show goes. So, but I'm confident. We'll see how it goes.
So that's the opening event under our 13mm double prong belt. Up next, we'll see if mountainous Thor Bjornsson can hit the heights in the deadlift. Welcome back to the Giants Live World's Strongest Man qualifying tour. We're in beautiful Melbourne, where after one round, the big favourite, Thor Bjornsson, is not in the lead. But coming up next is an uplifting experience for all the strongmen. Here's Colin Bryce to explain more.
We're about to start the second event, and it is the deadlift. It is something straight out of the gym. The guys just grab the bar and rip it. Stand up, get the hips through, shoulders back. Now, we saw a world record in this event at the World's Strongest Man contest last year. Brian Shaw hit 442.5 kilograms. Well, today we've got Benny Magnusson, the greatest deadlifter in history. He's going to go for the world record, hopefully, if he's pushed. Now, it's a rising bar. We'll start at 330 kilos and go up and up. You can skip weights, and of course, whoever lifts the most wins.
Mark van der Heer managed 330 kilos, failed at 370, so did Jeremy Hogg. 370 kilos, just the 58 stone there. Now we move up to 400 kilos on the bar, and this is 63 stone deadlift. So Rob Frampton, his personal best in strongman competition is less than 400 kilos. This is going to be a massive lift. So total concentration required here. He has got to dig so deep. He's never got close to this before now. Massive moment for him. He's had 2 attempts previously at 400 and they failed, and so does that one. He got hooked up a little, couldn't get it above the knees.
But look at his right knee here, it just catches his skin. He was so close to doing that, but this man surely will do it.
Well, we're looking for a new record. 400 kilos won't be the record, but the way that he picked that up just makes it look as though nothing is beyond his reach today.
Yeah, Benny Magnusson, the greatest deadlifter in history. He's come from powerlifting, he wants to be a strongman. Surely it'll be his event.
Frankie Skeen from Bloemfontein in South Africa, his personal best, 400 kilos, that's what's on the bar. So this is to match his best ever lifetime achievement. And I think he might go for more. Look at that, he's really stoked. So Warwick Brandt, again looking for a personal best, but rugby player. Might not surprise you to learn that he was a prop forward, and again it's slow and he almost had his butt. With the All Blacks showing off from the rugby player, he nails the 400 kilos, another massive PB.
Yeah, personal best and Australian record to boot.
Eben LaRue from Australia, his personal best only 375 kilos. So again, this is a massive challenge. Home crowd, and he knows that Brandt has already done it, and he does too, 400 kilos. No wonder he looks impressed with himself.
Oh, that is just extraordinary. He's put 30 kilos onto his personal best. Now, big Bjornsson.
Well, let's see what Thor can produce. He has shed body weight since last season. Now, does that mean that he has shed power as well? Grimaces, digs deep, and makes it look like child's play. I think he took that for granted.
Well, that was almost as easy as the other Icelanders, Magnusson's. They're looking very impressive, those two.
Well, 400 kilos is not a disadvantage for these guys. What is going to be? Gerhard van Staden still has to make the 400 kilos, though. We've seen a couple of failures, and he doesn't get it to the knees. So he is out at 370. Well, we're going to have to move up a little bit of weight, and I wonder how much we're going to move up. Referee Bill Linden moving them on to 420 kilos. 66 stone. That is 4 grown adult men on the bar. Plus the sofa, maybe. Benedict Magnusson, let's see what Big Benny can do. The world record in powerlifting. 420 on the bar. Is this where he comes to a grinding halt, or is he just warming up still? He is warming up, look at that! It's hard to say he didn't break sweat, but he did make it look as though there's more to come.
Well, he's the world's greatest powerlifter. This is his favourite movement. I thought he might have lost a bit training for strongman, but not at all. Looks very good.
Frankie Skeen is still in for South Africa, second in the Southern Hemisphere's strongest man, and that title will be decided here. No, barely gets it off the mat. So he steps out at 400 kilos. Australia's Warwick Brandt next to try this monstrous 420 kilos.
Well, having hit 400 in a personal best is such a massive marker. Yeah, I didn't think he'd get himself up for it. Just like Skeen, he was so happy with 400.
But you've got to give it a go. That's what they're here for, to compete. And boy, did he. Now then, Eben LaRue. Can he be the top Aussie here? Again, he way outperformed his personal best of 375. He's... Oh, I thought he was going then, but he didn't manage to get it to the knees, and so much weight low down. Now then, it's all about the Icelander then. Can Bjornsson push Magnusson even further? 420 kilos. That's twice his own body weight and change, and he gets the nod. It's there.
Well, that is something else. You think a lot of people call John Paul Sigmarsson the greatest strongman in history. His personal best, 370 kilos. Look at this, 420. We still got Magnusson to come.
And they breathe them big and strong, don't they? Look at that. So 2 men going through then to challenge for the world record. 445 kilograms on the bar. The record's from Brian Shaw, 442.5. So we are now at 70 stone. So first attempt will be Benny Magnusson. This is going to be absolutely massive. They know the pressure here on him. He's halfway and he somehow has got it all the way up. That's a clean lift. That is the new world record. Remarkable. Now, is Thor going to challenge? He gets it halfway and it almost looks as though he's going to fail at the legs. And then the core, my goodness.
Thor, you're not going to go in this final weight then? You're not going to try and equal Benny at the world record?
Not this time. I'm gonna let him take first place now. But there's one event left. Car work. It should be a good event for me, and I'm gonna aim to win that event.
That's right. One event left before we have the nighttime rest in the second day. So I like it. Icelanders, they're sharing the world records around. Do you think you could have done it if you really went for it?
My shape is I'm in my best shape ever now. Yes, I think I could do it. Of course, you have to believe. If you don't believe, I believe.
Well, congratulations to Benny Magnusson on a new strongman world record. Bjornsson completing an Icelandic sweep in the event. England's Rob Frampton finishing down in 6th. And with Bjornsson the leader, the Englishman down in 8th place overall and needs to step on the gas if he's to overtake his rivals in the next event, as Colin Bryce now explains.
Event 3 is the car walk. They're not going to walk alongside this, pushing it. Oh, no. The guys are going to get inside this, lift it up with these straps, and Fred Flintstone-like, they are going to skedaddle down a 25-metre course. We're going to find out who's got the horsepower to get this beauty going.
Mark van der Heer really struggled with the balance, twisted his knee after just 5.5 metres. Jeremy Hogg completed the course, 41.8 seconds. First man to do so. Eben LaRue, the Aussie, went a little slower, 53.4. Benny Magnusson, maybe tired after his deadlift, dropped it on the way to a 44.9. Joel McLeod, really quick run, 32.1 seconds. And Warwick Brandt went even quicker, 31.1. And that left Frankie Skeen 32.47. He struggled for balance halfway, just a fraction slower. Big Rob Frampton next up, and he's hoping to make a splash.
I'll be 41 this year. I've done it 10 years. I love it. Provided I'm keeping healthy and strong, I don't see any reason not to carry on. You know, Mark Felix is what, 47, 48. He's still doing well. I love, you know, my whole ambition is to win a title. Quite happily retire on. Well, I've trained hard for this. You know, they're pretty much bread and butter events. That's one of the reasons why I picked Melbourne. The one that I'm not apprehensive, but I've trained for with Terry is the stone to shoulder. I wanted to stay top 3. For me to go and be happy with my performance, I want top 3. I love to win. I mean, I never go to any competition thinking that I'm going to lose or thinking that I'm going to just place. That's not what I'm about. I want to come in to win, obviously, but top 3 would be. I'd be very, very pleased with top 3. But I think with strongman, it's a switch that it doesn't matter how painful, how much you tear skin or what you do, you must succeed. You never fail, ever fail. You know, if you failure in a strongman is you don't need to. You shouldn't be a strongman. It's as simple as that. You got to just bust yourself to do it. And if that means busting yourself, you do it. That's it. Fair, you know, it's what we do. Silly, I know, but strongman is the toughest sport on the planet. And if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Oh, behave.
Okay, on your mark, set, So here we go. This Morris Minor standard roadside trim would be 700 kilos. This weighs 410 kilos. That is still 64 stone. And he is carrying it down the course probably faster than it would have gone as a real road car. That is a great run as he rolls it across the line. 17.03 seconds. That's epic.
Well, that was about 14 seconds quicker than anybody else so far. 31 seconds is what he was trying to beat. That's phenomenal.
Well, that wasn't a car walk, that was more of a car jog. What about Gerard van Staden? There's so much technique in all of these disciplines, and he's got the balance all wrong. Look how nose heavy the car is on those straps. The wheels are almost on the ground, and as they touch, it's starting to drag him sideways. He's got a big skid going on. He's going to have to put it down and reset, and he's adjusting the straps as well. This is costing him so much time. Wildly uncompetitive, but he's determined to make it to the end. He was on the ground before he'd even done 17 seconds, the fastest time. This is going to be closer to a minute. And he's still not at the line. Got across the line to have a complete run, and that is a heartbreaking effort for the South African.
That was a horrible run for Herring. And he looks exhausted. Every time you've got to pick it back up again, it's such a feat of strength. Can't even get out of the car. Not that it's easy when you're that size.
Well, it's just turning away from him, and he knows he's trying to go forward. Now, if Bjornsson's ever been in a car this small, I'll be astonished. It's a four-door family saloon from the 1960s. He's like Hightower in Police Academy, isn't he? He'd be driving this from the back seat, but he's not driving it. He's going to have to carry it. 17 seconds. Wow, he's going off like a scalded cat. I think Rob Frampton's run might be in trouble. He hasn't quite got the perfect balance that Frampton has, but this is very quick indeed. 17.03 is the time he's got to get to the line, and he rolls it across in what? What is the time? 17.07, 400 slower. You aren't kidding me.
What a result for England's Rob Frampton as he takes the win by just 0.04 of a second from Bjornsson. Warwick Brandt taking third spot in a fine performance in front of his home fans. So, Mr. Consistency Bjornsson extends his lead despite not yet taking an event win. Brandt leads the chasers. Frampton moves up 2 spots to 6th.
Rob Frampton, the world's best athlete at running with a Morris Minor. You must be pleased, mate.
Yeah, I am. You know, to win any event is brilliant, especially at Giants Live, such as, you know, a prolific thing. So, yeah, really pleased with this.
The key seemed to be holding the balance right. Is that something you'd practiced before, or was it just you just got it lucky and right on the day?
I watched everyone else, so I knew the guys that had done it previously last year. So they were actually holding the chrome on the small quarter mirror, the quarter light of the window. So I made sure my face was right close, picked it up, felt level. So ran with it, got it.
And with that, we're halfway through this Giants Live in Melbourne. With 3 more events to come, can Rob Frampton build on that superb win and close in on a World's Strongest Man qualifying spot? Welcome back to Giants Live in Melbourne. Over to Colin Bryce for the details on Event 4.
Day 2, Event 4, and it is the log lift for repetitions. As you do, 140 kilograms have to be lifted up to your shoulders and overhead for as many reps as possible in 60 seconds. Now, the UK's Rob Frampton driving himself back into contention yesterday with the car walk. Big Rob, this kind of event, it's good for you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So it's a bread and butter event, any competition. 140 kilos is an average weight. They have them slightly heavier at Worlds. But for this Giants Live, yeah, it's a good weight, and it's an evil log. It's really big, handles are really thick. It'll test a lot of people.
Now, it's very much a test of shoulder strength. Do you use your legs much in this?
I'm a bit of a strict presser, but I think I may have to use a little bit just because it's repetition. So I don't want to, I don't want to mess up any reps. So if I can get a bit of leg drive into it, it'll be better. Maybe make some good reps, but I reckon 7 or 8 will win.
Oh, really? Can you do that?
I reckon, yeah.
Oh, okay, good luck. Excellent. Well, a big test of shoulder power now.
How do they stand so far? Well, Mark van der Heer retired injured out of the competition. Even LaRue, 3 cleans for the Aussie. Jeremy Hogg, just 1 clean rep. He'll be disappointed with that. Our deadlift winner, Benny Magnusson, 4 overheads, nice and clean. Gerd van Steden also 4 clean reps. And Frankie Skeen 6 to take the lead, trying to defend his Southern Hemisphere's strongest man crown. So from Western Australia, 6'1", 19.5 stone Joel McLeod, 5'11" Warwick Brand, 23 stone. This is the all-Aussie grudge match.
On your mark, get set, go!
So it's not about speed, it's not about power. As with everything else, technique is going to be the key. Well, Brandt gets it up and down nice and quickly. Using the knees as a staging post is going to be really important here. McLeod is almost a rep behind.
Well, I'm impressed with McLeod. He's stepped up about 20 kilos in body weight recently. Brandt on to 3, though. He's got great pressing power, Brandt.
McLeod takes a while to get the elbows locked out on that one. Brandt is on to 4. McLeod, I think, is going to step out. He might give it one more go. They've still got half a minute, just about. Brandt could be on for half a dozen here, but McLeod will be lucky to get 4, Colin.
Well, both of these men are just shy of 6 foot, and actually being shorter, and that is short for strongman, is a good thing in this event. You think Bjornsson, at his height, he's sticking up above 8 foot.
And Brandt gets the elbows locked. That is 6, so he is tied for the lead with Frankie Skeen. Now, are we going to be like the deadlift competition where we have a host of guys on 6? Joel McLeod out with 4, same as Benny Magnusson. Warwick Brandt, great technique. Just took his time to get that last leading one in.
But you didn't quite beat Frankie there, though. You went out, rushed out for the first 3 or 4. You were quicker than Frankie. Then you just started to gas a little bit.
To be honest, I thought I was on 7 on that last one, so I thought that was the last one I had to do, but obviously it was 6, so, you know, we are strongmen, we can't count that well, so I'll take 6.
Can't count. I think he's putting a brave face on that. I think he's disappointed. What about big Rob Frampton, though? He was pretty confident. He thought 7 would win it, and at the moment he looks like he might be right. Question is, will he do 7? Will Thor do 7? It's not always been the strongest man with the overhead power, though, Colin.
Well, Bjornsson's worked very hard at it. He's such an athlete. He's a former basketball player for Iceland, and look at that. He's quicker than Frampton, and Frampton's a great presser.
I tell you what, if he played in defense for basketball, they wouldn't be pulling any technical fouls on him. Look at the power. Bjornsson making it look very simple. Rob Frampton, though, is struggling a little on the other side. Bjornsson up to 4, and Frampton has done 2. He said it was a tough log to lift. Those big handles, really tough on the grip.
Well, we're just over halfway, 33 seconds. Bjornsson equaling the others. Remember, that's 23 stone he's pressing overhead.
That's absolutely insane. And he's playing to the crowd.
He's pressing overhead.
That's absolutely insane. And he's playing to the crowd with 15 seconds. He knows he's got juice in the tank. And he makes the winning rep look very easy. Wow. He's got power, he's got style, he's got victory. And he could perhaps have had 8 or 9. Bjornsson really in control here.
A bit disappointed with 4 reps there?
Yeah, unfortunately, as I'm watching the ref, I'm too busy wanting the balance of the silly mat, really, but my fault. No biggie.
Well, let's bring in Thor Bjornsson. Thor, you're pushing it to about 10 foot there. I didn't think you were going to be so good. That was phenomenal. 7 reps came easy. Were you surprised yourself? Obviously not.
No, I've been training this event really hard. This is probably my worst event, but it's getting better. Hopefully, I always wanna improve my worst event, so I'm happy.
So, finally a win for Thor Bjornsson, a whopping 7 reps for the competition leader. Another great performance from the home favourite Warwick Brandt, while England's Rob Frampton 4th equal with 3 others. Overall then, Thor's lead now looking all but unassailable. Behind him, Brandt is looking good for another of the qualifying spots, leaving Rob Frampton one of 4 contenders for the final place.
Our penultimate event at FitX is the stone to shoulder. You have to lift this Atlas stone up and lift it up to your shoulder for a momentary pause as many times as possible in 60 seconds. Now, Derek Poundstone, How is this different than a normal stone loading event?
Well, for the athletes, it's completely different event. They have to train it differently, and it puts a huge strain on the biceps, because the difference is instead of loading onto a box, and now they have to generate so much force with the hips, and their biceps have to maintain a grip on that stone. They have to actually force it onto the shoulder and actually become weightless for a second as it rolls up. So the more power they put in, the easier to the shoulder, but obviously the more energy they waste. And you'll see them do 2-3 reps, will feel kind of easy, and then they're just gonna hit that wall. The true athletes, 4 or 5 reps, maybe 6. I'm saying 6, 7, 1 or 2 guys might get.
So it's fair to say technique, speed, and stamina?
Oh, absolutely. Technique important, shoulder flexibility, stamina, but most importantly, strength.
And probably pain threshold too.
They're going to be feeling the pain. Jeremy Hogg, first to give it a go. 3 reps for him. 2 for Joel McLeod. Well, his technique didn't really help him. Benny Magnusson, though, 5 reps, setting the bar high. Gerd van Steden couldn't get close enough. He blew out at 4. Rob Frampton, disappointed with just 3 reps. And what about Eben Leroux? Shirtless, takes the lead with a monstrous 6. So that's the bar. Frankie Skeen then also shirtless. Mind you, with that chest rug, it's just as likely to get caught in his hair. Let's see what he can produce. Grip here is going to be vital. Of course, the first thing you do when you pick up a weight is you throw it over your shoulder. Here, that would be a disaster. You've just got to get it onto the shoulder and then drop it as quickly as you can. Colin, this is really hard work.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Martin. It's very easy to sort of hit it too hard with your hips and then suddenly it goes flying over the back. Of course, you have to be strong enough just to get it up in the beginning. There's number 3, and just 20 seconds gone, so he still has 35 seconds to go.
142 kilos, that's easy to say. 22 stone. That's as much as half the athletes in the field that you are repeatedly lifting to carry on your shoulder. The stopwatch is counting down as well. You've got to wait for the whistle to make sure it's a clean lift. Otherwise, it won't count.
Well, just over 10 seconds to go. There's number 6. He could win this.
He has a tie for the lead. Can he make it 7? He is there with 3 seconds to spare, and that looked fast as well as powerful. That might be unbeatable.
He wants to take it back.
Joe Poundstone said it was about technique, and you said, Colin, about pain threshold. I think he didn't hit the wall there. He went straight through it head first. So from the Gold Coast, Australia, what will Warwick Brandt manage? 7 is the benchmark, and in 60 seconds, that means if you don't manage the first one in 10 seconds, you're in trouble. He's gone straight over the back of his shoulder. So that doesn't count. So that is 1 in 10 seconds. Well, he's on track for time, but the power required to get that first one that didn't count is going to hurt him. 2. And the referee wants him back on the mat, so he's got to walk with it as well. Drama for Warwick Brandt. 3, but feeling the pain of 4 already. 4 completed, halfway through. Could he make this 8? That would be insane.
Well, you have to be impressed with this man's power. I think he's missed that one as well. He didn't hold it there, so he's done 2 extra reps.
Oh, you're kidding. We didn't hear the whistle. You're absolutely right. That's only 5, but he's completed 7. He's got 10 seconds. He's going to struggle to get to 6. He digs unbelievably deep for 6. That leaves him in 2nd place. Oh, and the wry smile. Well, it went wrong in the log lift, and it went really wrong in stone to shoulder.
Warwick, I guess you're bitterly disappointed by doing 8 reps, but only getting 6.
Yeah, it's always hard when you're pushing yourself too much and little mistakes cost you. I think I just had too much adrenaline at the start and overshot it a bit.
Yeah, you terrified some of the crowd here. Apologies necessary. No, you've thrown Frankie a lifeline, eh? Can you keep this going through to the final event? Have you got the fitness to take Frankie on in the loading?
Yeah, look, we got some time to recover. Enjoy the moving events. I won't give in easily. Definitely got to beat him on the next one.
Thor Bjornsson, our log lift winner then. See what the young man from Iceland can produce. And here, having massive long levers is actually an advantage because it allows you to grip the weight a lot better. In fact, his size makes that look a lot lighter than it is, a lot smaller than it is. And again, like the log lift, it's the speed that's remarkable here.
When you're nigh on 7 foot and your wingspan's even bigger, you can wrap your arms around that big ball. Coming up to 30 seconds, he's on 4, and he's certainly on track to beat Frankie, and he doesn't look like he's tiring either.
Well, he's bouncing it like a basketball, which he would still be bouncing if he hadn't blown his knee out when he was in his teens. 6, and he's got 15 seconds to go as he gets it for 7. One more to win it. Oh, here we go. He loves this, doesn't he? And they are going to respond to him in kind. 8 is the winner, as in the log lift. Victory for the Icelander. Well, the mountain does it again. 8 reps, victory for Bjornsson.
A second win then for the massive Icelander, despite the fact that at 6'8", he has to lift a stone considerably higher than anyone else. Skeen takes second with 7 reps to Brandt's 6, but in the overall standings, he's still behind the Australian. With Thor 9 points clear now at the top, everyone down to Rob Frampton in 7th place is still in with a chance of that final podium place. Of course, for some, there's also the title of Southern Hemisphere's strongest man on the line, and that'll be decided in the final event. Welcome back to sunny Melbourne and the Giants Live World's Strongest Man qualifying tour. We're down to the final event now in the battle to see who's heading to Los Angeles and who'll be picking up the trophy of Southern Hemisphere's strongest man. Colin, tell us what's in store in the decider.
All good strongman contests have a horrible ending, and this is going to be about as tough as you get. 3 kegs, each weighing 127 kilos. Absolutely full of concrete, have to be taken down there and loaded onto the platform. And then the final 2 implements are these big logs. First one's just over 100 kilos, and this second one 115 kilos. You need a really big wingspan just to hang on to these and take them down there. 75 seconds in which to complete the task.
So we save the worst to last. Jeremy Hogg gets 3 kegs onto the platform, 58 seconds. Rob Frampton, 3 in 70.35 seconds. And Joel McLeod manages 2 in 36.5. That's as far as he gets. Eben LaRue gets the first log up as well, 73.2 seconds. Benny Magnusson, just the 2 kegs. Mind you, 2 at 20 stone each is enough. Gerhard van Staden then next up, and he goes head-to-head with Frankie Skeen. And this is where Frankie has got to lay down a marker. Put in a really quick time to trouble Warwick Brandt as they battle for the title of the Southern Hemisphere's strongest man. And he is off like a rabbit, and they gallop back.
Absolutely jet-propelled there, Frankie Skeen. Just that bit quicker than Van Staden at every turn here. Loads well as well. Under 20 seconds for 2.
Well, most men would struggle to move that fast with a keg full of beer weighing just 35 kilos, not for the concrete weighing 120. 30 seconds in, he's got 3 up. He's going back for the first of our 2 logs. So obviously going for the smaller first, just 15 stone 10 of wood there. That'll take a while to burn in your wood burner at home. Can he get it on the platform? He does, 48 seconds. And he is going back to look for another one. Don't forget, 75 seconds, a minute and a quarter. But this is 115 kilos.
I'm not sure he can get a grip here. Oh, he's done it. Well done. Just his fingertips round this enormous log.
Can he make it? He can't. He can't roll it, that's for certain. I think that's as far as he goes, but that's a total weight of nearly 600 kilos he's shifted up the course. So Gerhard van Staden 4th in 52.71. But it looks as though Frankie Skeen has laid down a massive marker, 4 in 48.27 seconds. Will it trouble Warwick Brandt? Well, it will if this event does not go well compared to the log lift and the stone to shoulder. And Thor Bjornsson, well, he is going to be the crowd favourite everywhere he goes in this Giants Live series.
Okay, take a position.
And again, with those big long limbs, he might not struggle as badly with the logs. Here we go then. Speed. Well, Colin, at the beginning, it always looks so easy because they've got lots of reserves of energy, but those are soon depleted by 127 kilos.
Well, if you're going to build a perfect athlete, you'd build that man, Bjornsson. But really, it's all eyes on Brandt. Surely Bjornsson's going to win now, but can Brandt get the Southern Hemisphere's title?
Well, he was 2.5 points in the lead. Massive marker laid down by Frankie Skeen, so Brandt needs to be very close to his time. Thor, that platform is barely at chest height for him as he takes the first log. Look how easily he can put things on. Warwick Brandt, nearly a foot shorter. It's almost at shoulder height. And so he is going to struggle to get up compared to his rival. However, this is going to be very close. It's going to have to go to the judges. Warwick Brandt gets 4 up as well, a fraction slower than Skeen, as Bjornsson completes the course in under a minute, 57.92 seconds. That is remarkable. Now, can Brandt get the final log up? This would definitely put it out of any doubt. 2 seconds left. He's not going to do it by a whisker on time, but I think he's done enough to take the Southern Hemisphere Strongest Man title. He's got a big grin, and so have the officials. Boy, that was close, wasn't it? Hathor Bjornsson, the only man to finish, picking up his 3rd event win. Frankie Skeen 2nd, just ahead of Gerard van Staden, and Warwick Brandt in 4th. In the overall, though, by 0.5 point, Warwick Brandt is the Southern Hemisphere's strongest man, but there was only ever one winner.
Hathor, you've won the FedEx here today. You've been truly outstanding. You look in world's strongest man winning form. Do you feel like that?
I feel like I can do anything. I'm so strong. I'm in so good shape now. I can win the World Strongest Man title this year, I believe it. I'm in the best shape of my life. So yes, I think I can win it this year.
Bjornsson has thrown down the gauntlet. That'll make the rest of his World's Strongest Man rivals sit up and take notice, because surely no title now is safe. He's bound to be a favourite for 2 of the biggest in the Giants Live Tour, World's Strongest Viking and Europe's Strongest Man this year. Our organiser, Tony Doherty, and referee Bill Linden presenting the awards to our winner. And Thor, we are at the start of something huge, aren't we?
So that was the action from Melbourne, Australia. Hathor Bjornsson certainly in form, and he looks like he'll be a real threat for the Worlds later this year here in Los Angeles. Well, next time up on Giants Live, we'll be in Doncaster, England for more great strongman action. Make sure you join us for that. Until then, from all of us here, it's goodbye.